Garth, I use TradeSyncer. Trade trade TradeSyncer. Sorry for that echo. Waiting for some more people to get in here into the Discord. Got about 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes. We'll let people come in here. Coop, what's going on, man? Sorry about your couch. You seem to be killing it, though. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. It's all good. We'll bounce back. We'll bounce back for sure. Nothing but a thing. I appreciate that, though. I don't even know how many people are going to join today, to be completely honest. I just figured I'd do this because there's always so many questions that people have during the week, and it'd be easier format to do this. Just had a double cheeseburger and some asparagus. There you go. Double cheeseburger. Did you cook that yourself, or is that the McDonald's special? Grab a drink while more people are showing up here. Trying to cut it off faster. Of course, Albert. Appreciate you saying that. Looks like we got some more people over in the Discord now. All right, guys. How's everybody doing? I'm just doing this, pretty much open it up to whatever you guys want to talk about. Obviously, I'd like to keep it about BookMap at the beginning, but as we go on, if we kind of run out of stuff to go over with the BookMap, run out of questions that you guys have, we can pretty much cover whatever you guys want to cover if you have other questions. So with that being said, I'll open it up to whoever wants to ask questions, and we can get going. Lucas, what's up? Fancy Pants, what up? Fairly new to BookMap. Okay. Well, hopefully we can kind of get you a little crash course introduction here. You're over in PJ's Discord too, right? You guys got gains over there? He's pretty solid at this. He's a BookMap savant. His is set up a little bit different than mine, though. So basically, I had some guys asking me in the live the other day. I don't know if they were even in this live stream right now, but what are my Discord or what are my bookmap settings? Really, most of my settings are default settings. However, I do have some features that I add on, basically like indicators that bookmap offers. Unfortunately, while I'm doing this stream, you can't see the settings tab, but if you go into settings, if you have your bookmap pulled up, you can go to manage plugins, go over to bookmap add-ons, and in that in that menu of options, the things that I have selected are absorption indicator, AVWAP, AVWAP, liquidity marker, liquidity tracker free, and sweeps indicator. I don't always keep all of those on at the same time. The ones that I have on right now that you can see are liquidity marker, VWAP, and liquidity tracker. So you'll see the liquidity markers here. It shows you levels where there's, for instance, this 133 right here. This is 133 orders stacked up right there. You can look to the right and you can see 126 of those are buy orders. 46 up here. 35 of those are sell orders. Same with 61 right here. You can look at this, see that 65 of those are sell orders. So those are kind of helpful. The VWAP right here is in the green. You can kind of see that. I don't know how clear it is for you guys on your screens. But I have this paused at 9:23:49 yesterday morning. So I saved the data from yesterday if we kind of wanted to watch this and see the way price behaves, and you can kind of get a feel for what you're looking for here. What subscription do you have and which data? I have the Global Plus subscription. That's the one you're going to want, and you're going to want to see if you're trading NASDAQ and S&P 500 futures, you're going to want the CME data. If you're trading gold or silver and you want to use bookmap for that, you're going to want the COMEX data. What's up, Hugo? How's it going? No way, I'm finally in one of these. So I'll wait if anybody has any questions about any of the stuff that I just said. If not, I'll click play here and we can kind of watch the market open and what it looks like on bookmap. How much is all of that? So if you use the link, you're not in the YouTube, but I'll put the link for you guys in the Discord. If you use my link and then use code CWT, you'll get 20% off of the bookmap subscription, just the Global Plus, but there's no discount for the data. So together with my discount and paying full price for the data, it's around $100 a month. Pretty expensive, but anybody who's used this software on a regular basis can tell you that it pays for itself rather quickly. How far back should I load historical data to have the same view? I'm at market open from yesterday morning. What you're seeing on the screen is paused at 9:23:49, so just shy of 9:24 a.m. yesterday morning Eastern time. Yeah, if you load 24 hours, it should load that. It should be able to load back to this point. Can you repeat what add-ons you have? Yeah, I can. So the add-ons that I'm currently using are liquidity marker, absorption indicator, VWAP. It's just the VWAP, but it's anchored VWAP. So AVWAP, liquidity tracker, and the sweeps indicator. And usually the ones that I keep on like all the time, VWAP, liquidity marker, and liquidity tracker. Having the absorption indicator or the sweeps indicator, sometimes that can kind of jumble up the charts, and anybody who knows me knows that I like to keep things pretty neat, clean, and concise. Say that again, Albert. So you just see the spike on the right to know how many the liquidation. No, I mean you'll see. I'm gonna press play in a second. It's currently paused, so you're gonna see exactly how this goes in just a second. Somebody's trying to call me. Send them a voicemail. All right, is everybody ready? Oh, by the way, let me give you the link to the in the Discord. Let me give you the link to this. Not that. That. With that. And right here. So here's the link to the Discord, or to the BookMap website. I don't know if I can pin that comment in the chat, but it's right there for you. And you'll use that link, and you still will have to use code CWT when you use that link. All right, so we're right here at 9:23:49. Market's getting ready to open here. Yesterday morning, this currently is on NQ. To be specific, it's on M and Q, which I tend to not recommend being on M and Q. You want to be on the actual NQ contract. However, recently M and Q is just way cleaner looking than NQ in terms of the actual bookmap data, the way that it looks on the chart. So we're going to use that for right now just to get an idea of what market open looks like when we're watching the bookmap. And just to give you guys an idea of what the chart looks like at this moment, this exact same time, this is what the chart looked like. Let me make sure this is on the right. Let's see. Nope. Make sure the source is right here. Hang on. I'll show you guys the trading view so that you have that for comparison here. So just for comparison purposes, here's exactly what we looked like on the chart yesterday. We still had London low resting below us here. We had previous New York AM low resting below us. And above us, the liquidity was the swing point. And then we had London high, if you remember, all the way up here, with Asia high all the way up there. So this is how the layout of the trading view looked in conjunction with the book map. So that was the book map. Here's the way that market open went. Or excuse me, that was trading view. Here's the market open. I'll fast forward just slightly. 27. 29.30. All right, here we go. This is perfect. So as you can see, we got that massive order resting right above us. We just absorbed that order. And then crap's about to get real here in about 10 seconds. Do you have data saved from yesterday PM session like around 2:40? Yeah, I probably do. It's not loaded in right now, but I probably do have that, yeah. And here's market open. So there's that manipulation down. Absorbing that liquidity higher. There's the manipulation again. And at some point, I think we come down. The VWAP was holding us up right here, if I remember correctly, on the trading view, and then it just busted through that. Yeah, so we bounced out the VWAP, and then I'm watching the trading view also here. Just absolutely blows through the. Out of all the liquidity levels we see on the screen, which two are the ones worth trading? How do you filter out the noise levels? Well, as you can see right here, there's hardly anything stacked underneath us. We have this level down here that's kind of the line in the sand down at 25,595. That's as low as price went. But you can see that really all the orders in this case are stacked above us. So we can expect, the way that I would, if you were just kind of throwing ICT principles out the window for a minute, which I know I trade ICT, majority of people in here trade ICT or some variation of it. But if you were to trade strictly bookmap, you were just like, okay, if I wanted to use just this software and market structure to decide how to take a trade here, your instinct should be, when you're looking at this, wow, there's hardly anything underneath us. clearly the move is to the upside here. So what you'd be looking for is you'd be looking for a pullback like you're seeing right here back to this 25,615 level. You probably wouldn't even want it that low at this point. You'd want it to be around the 25,620s. So anything back into this 620 area, you'd be looking for a pullback into there and then a potential long up to this level, up here at least to the 25,642 level. So you'd be looking for a pullback and then a push back up. So basically a retracement, you're going to get in on the retrace, which typically, if you watch BookMap in conjunction with ICT stuff, it'll retrace to a fair value gap, and then you'll take a position there and then target one of these positions higher. I wouldn't necessarily have my take profit just set. I would be trailing my stops as it's going up. But you'll see exactly what I mean, because this, obviously you know what happened yesterday, but you can see how it makes sense when you're watching the data actually on the BookMap. So these little pullbacks are where you'd want to get in. You'd actually hope to get in a little deeper. This takes off to the upside here in a second. So that's a good pullback right there. Beautiful pullback to the 30s. Probably get a deeper one down here a little lower. Now at this point, we're looking back at the previous data. Our line down here from the first manipulation was right close to this VWAP at the 600 level. I don't know if I'd look for a pullback down to there, but I'd be looking for this 615 to be a level where I'd be interested in getting into this trade, potentially. Volume bubbles are getting big right there. And I'll show you what this looks like on the BookMap in conjunction with, or on the TradingView in conjunction with this BookMap. So that's at 933. That would be right here. On the BookMap, or on the TradingView. So basically we went all the way up here, and now we're manipulating back down into this area, currently at 699. Bouncing right off that VWAP. I think it digs a little deeper. Yeah, digs down to the 570s, down into here, and then it takes back off. Now what you're looking for in terms of, if you were to just be taking an entry, like I said, strictly off of BookMap, what you're wanting to see is a break of a key level back to the upside. So this swing high right here would have been a key level to watch for. I think we do dig a little deeper here first, or maybe this is where we turn around. But you're looking for the volume bubbles to be where the seller or the buyers are in control, and those volume bubbles get big and you start to break these key levels. So now we're clearly breaking these key levels, looking like price wants to go higher. VWAP's acting as a point of support at this point. So I'd be thinking long at this point. Do you have data from yesterday? Are these sell limits or passive sellers? They're both. So there's limit orders stacked on the chart, and there's also market orders being placed. So you're watching the market orders. If you see this number here on the right, it's lit up 1 right now. Start and pause. It's 2 right there. So if you keep an eye on that, those are the market orders being placed. So you can kind of keep track of the rate at which market orders are being placed in what direction. That's the idea. When price hits a thick band of liquidity, bright red, and stops, how do I tell if sellers are being absorbed by a big buyer if they have simply exhausted their energy? Use the absorption indicator. That's one of the ways. But you want to watch how the momentum, how price reacts when it hits that level. Typically, if it's going to continue higher, it almost immediately starts to continue higher. It doesn't reject right off of it. Fancy Pants, I think your mic's on. Yeah, you're good. This kind of consolidates here for a minute. I'll show you where it actually takes off and what it looks like. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. So there's hardly anything underneath us now, and we got all this liquidity resting above us. I don't. No, I don't. I do not. How does BookMap tell that a trend is over? Are you looking for a pulse of volume or a specific pulling of liquidity? You want to see, I mean, if you basically get to a point where there's like hardly any other liquidity resting above you, or there's just one main line just kind of, you know, on an island of itself, like this right here at the top, like you can pretty much guess that price before it gets to that level, it's most likely going to get exhausted. You'll see like this kind of activity right here that you're seeing currently. If we get close to that level and you start to see this, and then more orders popping up and populating onto the software or onto the chart here, you'll know, okay, it's not over yet. But it becomes pretty clear when you're watching in conjunction with the trading view and you're watching the way that the candles are behaving, that is the move over with or not. You can kind of get an idea. You start to see consolidation, you start to see pullbacks and lulling in an area. 6:50. What time is this? 9:56. Yeah, it's getting ready to take off again. What's up, Ghost? How's it going, man? Is the view that you guys are looking at on the Discord, is it inverted or is it proper? Like, does it look all right? Because on my screen it's inverted. That was the pullback to the VWAP at 9:57, I believe. Yeah, 9:57 pullback to the VWAP on the, if you're looking at the VWAP on the trading view. Bounces literally right off of it, rejects, and then we're about to take off back to the upside. Doing great, man. Just trying to explain this the best I possibly can. This is data from yesterday morning, Blade. And feel free to go ahead. No, I didn't. I did take a short after we did that reversal. I think ES swept that Asia high that we had. I got it cleared off of here. 11:45 or 12 o'clock, something around there. It was a pretty short trade. I'll post it here for you. Screenshot. That was it right there. I think it was around 11:45. Yeah, if you save Blade, if you save the data, if you make sure that when you open the software, you can get it. You can select it to save data that you're getting ready to see. You can replay it later. So that's what this is. And this keeps going, as you guys know. It pretty much goes up for another hour and a half, 2 hours, and then comes right back down and goes up, down, kind of consolidated yesterday afternoon. You guys have any questions? Anybody want to know anything, see anything? I don't know if, I mean, I think you have to manually select that you want it to save data, but if you, are you in BookMap right now? Go to the top left where it says File and then Open. Are you in replay mode? Okay, go to the top and where it says File, click that, and then in the drop down it'll say Open Data File. Is there anything in there? File, Open Data File. Should be the first one under the drop down if you're in replay mode. Close the software and reopen it. No, you're good. Then when you reopen it, it'll say, it'll have like 3 different options: simulation, trading, and then replay mode. Yep. And then once you open that up, it'll take a second to load, but then once you open that, you'll be able to click File, Open Data File, and then you should be able to see previous sessions that you've had open. Yep. Do you use the iceberg tracker to spot institutional buyers who are hiding their true size on NQ? I haven't activated that yet. I haven't paid for that. You can pay for that through BookMap and you can get that. I don't have it. I'm not paying extra for that right now. If somebody, the people who I watch who are very effective at using BookMap, not all of them use it. Some of them do. Rips, you've heard me talk about him. He uses it. I haven't thought that it was useful enough to spend even more money. I mean, $100 a month, that's kind of enough. So, to answer your question, no, I do not use it. Think I'm trading micro ES now. Micro NQ scared me. Moves too fast. What do I think? I think that's if NQ is moving too quickly, too herky jerky, I think it's a great idea to switch to ES. I love ES. I think it's a great indice to trade. Great instrument. I definitely would say go for it. Just got here. Can you explain? Yeah. Have you ever seen the BookMap before, Ghost? If not, it's what it is the level 2 data software that shows you where orders are stacked up in the market. Shows you where the limit orders are. It shows you where orders are being placed, where they're being yanked, where they're being pulled, where the market orders are being placed, like the current, where price currently is, the bids, the asks. It shows you all of that, and it shows you in real time. And these are volume bubbles. The bigger the bubble in one direction, so you can see that these right here, I'll make them bigger for a sec. See, these bubbles are mostly green. Obviously, that means that the buyers are in control, the sellers are not. If this were to be the other way around, like this, for instance, right here, you can see that it's mostly red. That's the sellers being in control at that, not in control, but they're in control at that level right there. They've brought price down. And then obviously the buyers come back in, price goes back up. Yeah, what's up, man? I hear you. Those are limit orders. So those are where orders are stacked up. Those are liquidity levels basically. So when you're watching, if you're paying attention to these levels in conjunction with your trading view, you'll notice that a lot of times these line up perfectly with like a London high or an Asia high, London low, Asia low, like the major session highs and lows, or a 4-hour high and low, or a daily open. So those major points of interest that we mark out, for ICT purposes, those line up with what you're seeing on the book map. That's what those levels are mostly. Yeah, correct. Correct. So if you see the very top of the picture here, I don't know if it's cut off or not, but you can see this like bar, like it shows you from dark blue all the way up to bright red. Can you see that at the middle at the very top? So that's telling you, hey, the darker the blue, that's less orders. So this area right here where it's basically just like black, there's no orders right there. But then you see these very light blue down here near the VWAP, and then the light blue being placed above us right here, and then he all of a sudden gets bright red. That means there's orders stacked up in that direction, and then all of a sudden there at the 25,700 level, there's a big liquidity pool. Right. Correct. And the way that I use this is I look for the ICT setups. Most of the time I'm looking for a unicorn setup, which is sweep of a major level, the V-shaped recovery, breaker formation, fair value gap to be formed, retesting of that fair value gap. And that's the point of entry that I like to take, where I take my trade, is that retest. If I see that set up perfectly on this chart on TradingView, but I see a whole bunch of orders underneath where I would have to place my stop loss, I fade the trade, man. So that's how I use Bookmap to justify taking a trade. Now the other way around is perfect market structure for like a unicorn setup or an inverse fair value gap continuation model, something like that. And then I see the Bookmap says, yeah, that's a good idea. The Bookmap typically will tell you whether it's a good idea to take that trade or not. That's why it's such an invaluable tool. Because there's been several times, and I think people in the stream have even seen this, where we get a beautiful setup, sweep of a major level unicorn setup basically, but there's still tons of orders. Say we're about to take a long, but there's still tons of orders down underneath where our entry would be. I'll be like, no, I'm not taking the trade, and then all of a sudden price just plummets right to those levels. Yeah, I mean well, that's the value of the Bookmap, man. It saves you money and it helps make you money. So, do you use so I started using Bookmap. I downloaded it and started messing around with it a little over a year ago. I actually started, it was kind of too complicated, or I couldn't figure out how to set up my chart to make it look like the people who I was watching. So I kind of just quit messing with it for a while, and then I went back to it about 5 or 6 months ago and started really trying to learn it and get it dialed in. And then I started trading with it maybe like 4 months ago, where I really started using it as like an added confluence to what I was already doing. I would, how much does Bookmap weigh in that whole equation? Yeah, I would say, dude, 90% of my decision making will, yeah, like if I will completely fade the trade, even if it ends up playing out, I'm fine with that, because the Bookmap is, I mean, it's rarely wrong, man. Like in terms of where you think price is going to go based on the Bookmap, it's rarely wrong. Yeah. Yeah, definitely check it out. It I know it's expensive. If you're not interested in paying right away and you're still unsure about it, check out my YouTube channel. I'm every morning when I'm streaming on the TikTok, I'm also streaming on YouTube, and you can see Bookmap. You can constantly see Bookmap on the YouTube. So yeah. What I'm also going to start doing, just to let you guys know, on starting Monday, I figured out how my YouTube stream, what you're seeing on the YouTube, I'm also going to be able to mirror that onto the Discord, so that in this live trading tab that you see on the trading floor category, that'll also be showing exactly what my YouTube looks like. So you'll have YouTube, you'll have Discord, and you'll have TikTok. So plenty of options to kind of watch the book map and see how it works. That's awesome, dude. I love that, man. I appreciate that a lot. Appreciate that. Yeah, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. That means a lot, dude. Definitely hit me up if you're in North Carolina. I appreciate that, man. That means a lot to me. That's huge. Yeah, for sure. Just doing this stuff, man. I got a video I'm trying to make for you guys. I'm gonna put it on the YouTube. Basically, just explaining the unicorn model and how I trade it and the components of it, because a lot of people don't know what a breaker is, or even what a liquidity sweep is, or any of that. So I'm trying to get as detailed with that as I can, as thorough as I can with that, and record it and post it for people to watch. So, yeah. What about you? What do you got going on? There you go, man. You're killing it. Keep it up, dude. Keep it up for sure. Hey, diet and the gym, man. Diet's a big part of it. So you're on the right track, dude. I appreciate that, man. That protein, dude. That helps with helps with the brain function. Tremendous. Locked in, man. You're locked in. That's all that matters right there. Keep it up, dude. Keep it up. I love to hear it, man. I love to see it too. Albert says, "Is your setup different than Rip's setups?" So Rip's, what he does is he trades that pitch and catch. So the pitch and catch that he talks about is this right here. You'll see this move down, and then I don't know how he does it, man. I think he's got something else, some secret sauce that he does not share. But he gets in like right here at this perfect level, and then he'll ride it just up to this other swing high right here, and then he'll get out. But he's sized in. Typically, he opens a position for like 5 minis right here, and then as he sees that he's right, he'll throw in 5, 10, 15 more minis, and then he'll completely cover the position at the top right here at this other swing high. So that's the way that he approaches it. It's a very aggressive scalp method, and most of it is based on what he's seeing on the book map. You guys, if you haven't checked out Rips, he has a live stream on here on YouTube, and he's on Kick as well, and he goes live every morning starting at 8 a.m. Eastern time. He he's legit, dude. He's a very good trader. He's been in the game for 10 years or so. He's made a lot of money. So somebody said, "Can we ask non-related questions?" Yeah, man. Ask whatever you want. What's up, man? Okay. A hot shower, man. A hot steam shower. A s- Yeah, get in the shower, let that steam build up, man. Or if you have access to a sauna, get in the sauna. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You go to the doctor yet? Yeah, you might don't get a sinus infection, man. You end up having to take an antibiotic or whatever. That's good. Yeah, definitely try out the shower, man, and make sure you're getting enough sleep. There you go. I agree. Yeah, everything is intertwined, man. The sleep, the diet, the physical activity, it's all intertwined. I I got you. I hope you feel better, bro. I hope you get over that. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Later. Every time I watch JJ stream, he's on Gamba, but Rips is legit. Yeah, Rips is legit, man. He is, and somebody else said he's a poker player. He is. He's been on some of those poker shows where you'll see the tournaments and stuff. He's I don't know. You know, I don't like pointing. How do I say this without sounding weird? I don't know what Rip's spiritual life is like. I I think he's a believer. I don't know. I don't like pushing people to spend time absorbing content that isn't getting them closer to Christ. Um, but I think if strictly you're looking for somebody who trades like an order flow momentum strategy with a what's called the pitch and catch, I think that's a term that he came up with. Definitely check him out and keep in mind that he can be kind of negative sometimes. He's got some negative energy because he gets a lot of haters in his chat, and he doesn't hold back when he's talking to them. But pay attention to his trading because that's really that's the only reason I would suggest watching him is pay attention to his trading. He is a rude guy, but I ignore the personality. Yeah, he can be pretty abrasive, but he knows how to trade. There's no question about it. He knows how to play poker too. I've watched him. I used to be pretty big into poker, man, and he's a shark. He's a shark for sure. All right, guys. Anybody have any more trading related questions, trading comments, anything they want to discuss before I head out here? I got another call that I got to jump on. Yeah. What's up, Blade? So the bubbles are the volume of market orders being placed, like right now. Like if you were to hit the buy button or the sell button right now and it just places an order, that's what those bubbles are. So it's a fight between the buyers and the sellers, and the more green you see, the buyers are in control. The more red you see, the sellers are in control. These lines on the chart, these like this big red line, this glaring red line up here, those are the limit orders. Does that make sense? So that's the order. Like if you were saying, okay, if it hits this London high, I'm gonna get in. I'm gonna have 215 sell orders right there. You right click on the chart and you have those orders just waiting. That's what that line is up there. That's the liquidity pool of orders waiting. People waiting to get in and people waiting to get out. Yes. Yep. The size is directly correlated to how many orders are being placed. So you'll see it. Let's see, I'll switch this over real quick because you can change this setting to volume delta instead. So you can see how there, some of these are smaller bubbles, smaller green bubbles, and then all of a sudden you get these massive red bubbles, or massive green bubbles that are just huge right here. That's when price is spiking up. So the more orders that you have, the bigger the bubble it's going to be. May I see what is your ICT time zone that you use for Asia and London? Because I'm confused. Should I be opening? Albert, are you in the Discord? If you're in the Discord, you can go to here. I'll just show it to you real quick, man. You can take a screenshot. Hang on one second. So here is what my times are, if you can see those. All right, Ghost. I appreciate you being here, man. You stay safe too. I appreciate that. God bless you, bro. Glad you are doing so well and that you're on the right track, dude. It's huge. It means a lot. Let me know when you screenshotted that, Albert. Got it? All right, sweet. All right, guys. Anything else before I shut this down? Fancy Pants, you got anything? Did you get that data squared away? Good. Good. Coop, what is up with that profile pic, dude? There's no way that's real. Anytime. Anytime, man. Happy to help. It's a girl from Valorant. Dude, what in the world? I'm not weird, I swear. If you say so, bro. Whatever floats your boat. I'm just messing with you, man. All right, guys. I got to run. Appreciate you being here. If you have any more questions, anything that you need answered or helped with, just shoot me a DM, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So, happy to help. Thanks for being here. God bless you guys. Yeah, you too, man. Have a good weekend.